Rider Japan, welcome. Right, today I'm changing the fuel filter and fuel lines because yesterday I did the air filter and then when I lifted up the tank I just saw underneath it and it was all dusty and old looking, so I'm going to clean it up and change the crusty old fuel lines and obviously the dirty fuel filter. And then I'm helped today by my daughter Mina. Mina, say hello. Mina says hello. Right, let's get into it. Right, so you turn that one. See this? Yeah, spin it round. Right, turn it this way. Yeah, moto. Alright, keep going. Just loosen this a little bit. Do a little bit more. Okay, right. Tarimasu. Take that. Okay, yeah, good. I'm disappointed with myself for not doing this earlier because I've had this bike not far off 2 years, so I should have done this ages ago. Literally should have done it when I first got the bike. So what I'm looking at, electrical connections. What I'm thinking of doing is just spray oiling all the electrical connections, any bolts that are all hidden, any sort of fastenings, just give them a bit of spray oil, just protects them from moisture in the future and then just helps things come apart easier, slide off without breaking and cracking. I don't know how bad these fuel lines are. They don't look too bad, but I definitely want to change them. Yes, I know I'm dressed like an idiot, but summers out here in Japan, yeah, they are no joke. It's already coming up 30 degrees. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning. So, factor 50, got the hat on, got my wet scarf on, keep me cool. Anyway, right, like I said before, I'm not an expert on working on bikes, but I've just owned bikes before and done a few little jobs. And a lot of it is just common sense. Like, if you're doing something you haven't done before, just have a look around and try and understand how things go together. Like, go through the job in your mind, just looking at, with the information you've got in front of your eyes, just look what attaches to what's electrically plugged in. Obviously, taking the fuel tank off, you've got to turn the fuel off before you start unplugging all the hoses and stuff. You've got to be a bit gentle with rubber and old bits of plastic and stuff. You can't just grab things with pliers as hard as you want. You've got to work a bit carefully and be a bit clever about what you're going to do in certain orders. So I reckon that a lot of it is just common sense. Just be a bit sensible, and if you haven't done it before, go slowly. That's the fuel filter, still connected. Disconnected that. I've turned the petcock off so the fuel can't come out. There's only a little bit of fuel in the tank. There's another thing as well. I run the fuel down before doing this. Just makes it easier because if the tank is full of fuel, it's really heavy. So it just makes it a bit easier if it's a bit lighter. Disconnected that just to give me a bit more maneuverability. So I wanted to pull these up to this side. I had to rotate them so I can grab those and pull those off. When you disconnect these, the fuel filter is full of fuel. So I put a rag under it to catch all the drips that comes out. Won't be a massive amount, but definitely some fuel is going to come out. So ideally catch it on a rag and not let it drip all over your bike. So if you're interested in what it's like inside one of these old R1s, like this. Today I'm replacing that, and the fuel filter, obviously. That's the fuel pump. Yeah, it's a bit dirty. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. I found these hoses, you can just give them a wiggle. If you get them twist, they sort of break a bit loose. They won't pull straight off. There you go, that's coming out. Bit of fuel, as I expected. Dripping fuel everywhere now. There we go. Some scissors, I don't. Get it at least a little bit flat. It is the next day. I bailed out 9:30 in the morning. It was just too hot. It was doing my head in. I literally burning my skin and blinding me. Too difficult working out in the bright sun yesterday. Luckily this morning, same time of day, but it's cloudy, so a bit easier to be out here. I think it's going to take me a few minutes to put it back together anyway, so nearly finished. So I can't get this out yet, so watch this. I think this might work. Bit of spray oil inside. There you go. Well, that ain't gonna fall out. Right, like I said before, I'm not an expert on working on bikes, but common sense goes a long way. So anything to do with the fuel system, be careful, like work carefully and double check and triple check everything you've done. So I'm about to put the fuel tank back on, yeah, and connect it up. So just while I've got access to all this, just double checking it all. So making sure they're all on comfortably, these are the right way round. The clips I put on are like doing their job correctly in a good position from the end. They're not about to slip off or anything. Just having a look, just check your work before you get to the next stage. So yeah, it's important, yeah, because this is potentially dangerous if you get it wrong. But again, common sense. Before we just put it all back together and put the tank down and start it up and ride off. Going to turn the fuel, got it all connected back up, turn the fuel back on, and then just watch it, see if there's any drips. So everything's connected up. The fuel is now able to go into the fuel filter. So I'm looking at all the joins and watching to see if there's any like drips or fuel coming out anywhere. Seems okay. So next, I carefully lower it down, make sure the hoses are all comfortable, and then still looking for any drips. Seems okay. Okay, so far so good. Gonna turn it on. Have another look. Smell nothing. Can't see no drips. Seems okay, yeah, but for all you know, you might have a dodgy fuel filter. Don't just trust it to be perfect. It might be like a manufacturing problem, might be a bit leaky, so maybe I'm over nervous, but I just love double checking, triple checking everything. I think this is good to go. Maybe even after I go out for a ride, be sniffing around for the smell of fuel. Might even lift it up and have another look. Just be really confident with your work and it's safe. 'Cause obviously if that's dripping fuel and you're riding around, that's a potential fire. Bit of a problem, to say the least. Okay, so this video's done, yeah? One last top tip. If you've got this R1, these two screws, Allen keys, hex keys, just do them down hand tight, because under the seat is the battery, you've got the fuses and stuff, you might be out somewhere. I don't know, I think it's more convenient, it's a bit safer that you can undo this by hand. Because if you need a tool to undo it, it might leave you stuck somewhere. Like, you might be able to buy a replacement ignition fuse, but you can't buy an Allen key, so I don't know. I just think it's a sensible idea just to have these screwed down hand tight so you can undo it in an emergency. Cool, that's it. Thanks for watching.